Welcome. Our topic is word problems. Word problems typically involve translating a situation or a scenario into mathematical equations or expressions and then solving those equations to find a solution. They often require critical thinking and problem solving skills. So, word problems are basically situations, real life situations that will require you to understand and think of how to solve the problem. Once the problem is understood, the next step is identify the relevant information. Look out for the pieces of information that are available. Next, choose the appropriate mathematical operation. Talking about mathematical operation, it can be addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, squares, square roots, etc. Next is perform the calculations to find the answer. So the first step is understand the problem. The next is identify the relevant information, choose the appropriate mathematical operations, and then finally solve the problem. We are going to look at 10 examples of word problems on the different math concepts we have learned so far. Example 1. Ami has 20 lemon sweets and 14 orange sweets. What is the total number of sweets Ami has? Okay, so in this question, there is a character here. Her name is Ami, and she has something. She has sweets, and there are two different types of sweets that she has. We have the lemon sweets, and we have the orange sweets. And we are asked the total number of sweets. In mathematics, anytime you hear total, find the sum, put together, how many are there in all? All of this represents addition, plus. Anytime you hear any of those phrases, then you should add to get the answer. So to find out the total number of sweets that Ami has, we will simply add the number of lemon sweets to the number of orange sweets. So we have total number of sweets is equal to 20 plus 14, which is equal to 34 sweets. Example 2. Daniel found 8 bowls in the storeroom. Mr. Adams said there should be a total of 11 bowls. How many bowls were missing? Now, I want you to imagine strolling into a storeroom, right? Assuming we are Daniel, or I want you to picture Daniel walking into a storeroom. And then in the storeroom, Daniel could only find 8 bowls, right? And then when he packs the 8 bowls to meet Mr. Adams, and he said, "So just 8? No, there should be 11. Now, I want you to ask yourself, how do we know the number of bowls that are missing? What is the mathematical operation to be used here? Obviously, it's not addition, right? What will work here is subtraction. We have the total, we have one number, so to get the second number, we simply subtract the number of available bowls by the total number of bowls. So we have number of missing bowls is equal to 11 minus 8. So the answer is 3. Example 3. One packet of biscuits costs 20 naira. What will be the cost of 12 such packs? Now, I want us to picture a pack of biscuits, right? One of it is 20 naira. What will be the cost of 12 such packs? So picture 12 of such packs of biscuits, and each of them costs 20 naira. How are we going to get the cost of all of them? It's simple, right? We can just say 20 times 12. That will give us the cost of all of them. right? Multiplication works anytime you have to apply the same thing in many instances. The same cost applies to each of them. So you simply multiply to get the total cost. So we will say the cost of 12 packs is equal to 20 times 12, which is equal to 240 naira. Example 4. 6 children share 12 chocolates. How many does each child get? Anytime you hear share, divide by, share amongst, the sign that should come to your mind, the mathematical operation that should come to your mind is division. Once you hear share, what should come to your mind must be division. So in this case, what are we sharing? We are sharing 12 chocolates. By how many people? How many people are we sharing these 12 chocolates among? We are sharing 12 chocolates among 6 children. So we will have 12 divided by 6, which is equal to 2. It means one child will get 2 chocolates. Please take note, anytime you hear each, it means one. One child in this case. So one child will have 2 chocolates. Example 5. A certain number of students can be arranged in groups of 3, 4, 6, or 8, with no students left behind. Find the number of students. Now, I want you to picture a certain number, right? Let's call the number x. From here, we are told that x can be divided by 3 without a remainder, can be divided by 4 without a remainder, by 6 without a remainder, by 8 without a remainder. That is why we have no students left. It means if we divide that x by 3, by 4, by 6, by 8, it will have no remainder. It means that that number x is a multiple of 3, 4, 6, and 8. So how can we find that number? We can simply find the number by finding the LCM. What is the lowest common multiple of these numbers? Right? Okay, so the lowest common multiple here, we're going to begin with 2. 2 cannot go into 3, we bring it down. Into 4 is 2. Into 6 is 3. And into 8 is 4. We use 2 again. It can go into 3, we bring it down. Into itself 1, we bring down 3. Into 4 is 2. We use 2 again, bring down 3. This is 1, we bring it down, bring down 3. Into itself is 1. We use 3. Into itself 1, 1, 1, 1. So when we multiply this, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which is 24. So 24 pupils, right? 24 students can be shared in groups of 3 without a remainder, in groups of 4 without a remainder, in groups of 6 without a remainder, and in groups of 8 without a remainder. So that's how to solve that. Example 6. 2 wires are 20 meters and 24 meters long. The wires are to be cut into pieces of equal length. Find the maximum length of each piece. I want us to picture 2 wires. One is 20 meters long and one is 24 meters long. And they are to be cut in pieces of equal length. So we want to cut 20 meters of wire into equal length. We want to cut 24 pieces of wire into equal length. And the both pieces from the different wires must be the same length. We are asked to find the maximum length of each piece. Anytime you have a question like this, right? From the word maximum, what should come to your head is highest common factor. First of all, for the both of them to be of the same length, it means they both share a factor, right? So the maximum length, right, for maximum is highest common factor. So we'll start by listing the factors of 20. That's 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. We will list the factors of 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. Alright, so the common factors are 1, 2, and 4. So talking about the maximum, the highest common factor here is 4. So that's how to solve that. First of all, cutting the wires into the same length means that size, that length must be a factor of both 20 and 24. Talking about maximum, the highest common factor. Example 7. In my fruit basket, there are 17 pieces of fruit, 6 of which are apples. How can we express the number of apples as a fraction? Remember, a fraction has a numerator and a denominator. The numerator shows the number of selected fruits in this case, which is apples, right? So we have 6 apples, while the denominator shows the total number, total. So expressing the number of apples as a fraction will be 6 over 17. Why? Because we have 6 apples and the total number of fruits in that basket is 17. Example 8. Maria spent 1/3, 1/3 of the money her grandparents gave her on an adventure book. She also spent 1/9, 1/9 of the money on a bag of candy. What fraction of the money has Maria spent? So we have some part of it has gone for an adventure book and some part of it has gone for a bag of candy. What fraction has been spent? We will simply add the fraction that has been spent on the book and the fraction that has been spent on the candy. It's like saying somebody bought a book for 3 naira and spent 9 naira to buy a candy bag. I'm using ordinary numbers now. You can use numbers. If you are confused, you may want to use whole numbers to try to have a clearer understanding. So if it were just numbers, it would be that Maria spent 3 naira, in this case just an example, on the adventure book and 9 naira on the bag of candy. If the question is how much did she spend, we'll simply add 3 and 9, we'll get 12, right? So it's the same thing here. What fraction of the money did Maria spend? We simply add 1/3 plus 1/9. The LCM is 9. 3 into 9 times 1 is 3. 9 into itself is 1 times 1 is 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4/9. So the fraction of money that Maria has spent is 4/9. Example 9. There are 45 students in a class and 3/5 of them are boys. How many girls are there in the class? I want us to picture a class of 45 pupils. Out of the 45 pupils, 3/5 of the total number of pupils are boys. So we can say that number of boys equals to 3/5 times. In maths, of means times. 3/5 times 45/1. When we cancel, 5 into itself is 1. Into 45 is 9. 3 times 9 equals 27. So the total number of boys in that class is 27. Now the question says how many girls are in the class? We will simply subtract 27 by 45. So 45 minus 27 gives us the total number of girls in the class, which is 18. So anytime you're given a fraction of a particular number, of them means times, you can solve and then get the answer. Please always pay attention to the question that is asked. If you were asked how many boys are there in the class, the answer will be 27. But because we are asked how many girls, we will first of all calculate the number of boys and subtract that from 45 to get the number of girls. Example 10. 1 kilogram of basmati rice costs 3 naira 75 kobo. Find the cost of 10 kg of rice. Now I want us to picture 1 kg of rice. Just one of it costs 3 naira 75 kobo. 10 of it. So assuming we have 10, right? And each of them 3 naira 75, 3 naira 75 in 10 places. So that tells us times, right? So this is multiplication of a decimal with a whole number. Multiplication of 3.75 times 10. So we have equal to 3.75 times 10. Because 10 has 1 0, we move a decimal place from 7, 1 place to the right. So that gives us our answer, 37.5. So basically, this is how to solve word problems. You must have a good understanding of what the problem is. Look out for what you've been given. Try to ask yourself, what mathematical operation will suit this scenario? Choose that, and then go ahead and solve to get the answer. Once you have a good understanding of what the problem is, solving becomes very easy. So you may want to read and make sure you have a good understanding. Another thing that can help is solving word problems regularly. Try to solve all the time. The more word problems you solve, the more you will be able to solve. Alright, so go ahead and do the following, snap and send. There are 7 questions in all. Please ensure you read carefully, understand and solve. Thank you. Please snap and send. Thank you.